Hip-hop.
Anonymous. Saturdays.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sapo Saturdays. You got your boy ASAP Froggy, and we got Mr. Bingus Frog here in my kitchen.
Ribby, y'all.
We are hanging out with both of our dogs, Mrs. Norris and Borison, and Mrs. Freaky Kiki over there in the corner chewing on her bone. We are really excited to have you all here in the studio for another Sapo Saturdays scratch track session. I'm excited.
Well, shit, man, I can tell you're excited.
To have
you're popping
Mr.
off over
Bingus back in the studio as well, because the last time I was here, I was by myself.
Yeah, doing 6-hour jam sessions, just going in.
Man.
And look, hats off to you, as Doc Froggledy loved to say. That's an expression of his. Hats off to you. No, for holding it down, for doing 6-hour jams, cool. And, I heard some people stayed, including Mama Teresa, your mom, so...
She did stay.
Shout out to Mrs. Gabriel.
Also, shout out to Dan, our partner at Quantum Collaboration.
Yeah, shout out to Dan.
Dan stayed, and I also see him in the audience there today.
What's going on,
supporting.
Dan?
What's up, Dan?
All right, so let's start this off by setting the room. Let's keep things professional. You know, I'm back. And that's why I'm here, to keep things professional, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right.
That's the hope. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do this.
Yeah.
We are Sapo Studios. Our goal is to bring the majority of profits and ownership rights back into the hands of musicians. We operate under the umbrella of the Notorious Frog NFT project, aka Frogland. Do your own research, but get involved. We have plans to unveil a marketplace where you can buy and sell stems and do a whole lot more. But until then, we're jamming with artists and chatting it up with them about music, life, and NFTs. And we will get to our artists shortly. But I did want to talk about some of the things that happened to me while I was away.
I'm sorry, man. I definitely spilled the beans a little bit on the last show.
Yeah, no, it's all
letting
right.
people know you ate shit.
Yeah, but
I told them we'd dive in. You know.
Yeah. Well, first thing is that I was having a ski trip with my family in Colorado. We go every February, and it's a great time. And I'm a pretty good skier. Been skiing since I was 3 years old, so I have a pretty good idea of what I'm doing when I'm on the skis. So after a couple of days of skiing at the mountain with the whole family, I decided I was going to go to a mountain that was 40 minutes away. And initially, my brother was talking about maybe coming with me, and it was going to be a thing, but ultimately, I went by myself, and I was kind of proud of myself that, I decided, fuck it, I'm going to go. And,
proud, and then,
you're off base because you don't even know. Okay. Because
you don't even know.
You don't even know.
You don't even know.
Because there are two stories. This is the first, right? This is the precursor. So this was when I went off by myself to this other mountain. I'm proud of myself. The minute you're proud of yourself, you know you're going to get fucked.
Doomed.
Doomed.
You're doomed.
But I go out and I'm skiing, and it's a gorgeous day. And there's just it had been a little bit icy over on the other mountain, and I get to this mountain, and it's just a lot of powder, and it's perfect conditions. And I'm like, wow. Things could not be better. But that's when, shit goes awry. So I'm sitting on the chairlift, and I'm on my phone, and all of a sudden my phone just slips out of my hands. And I'm that asshole that dropped his phone off the chairlift. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it would be bad enough if I dropped it close to when I'm getting off the chair, and I would still have to figure out getting it. But I dropped it right at the beginning of when I got on the chair. A little bit up the run. So now I'm sitting on the chairlift for the entirety of this ride, and it's snowing. So I know that my phone is getting buried at this point. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? And I am terrible with directions, right? So I'm 40 minutes away from the mountain I'm supposed to be at. I'm now thinking I don't know how I'm going to get back home later. And all of the terrible thoughts are going through my head. So I get up to the top of the run. And I see that it says trail closed. What I didn't realize was that that's the other side of the sign. The side of the sign that's facing you when you're supposed to enter the trail says, variable conditions may exist because it's like a sketchy trail, which, that in and of itself is a thing. But I thought it said trail closed. So I hop off the chairlift, immediately go to the chairlift operator. And I'm like, man, it says trail closed. I dropped my phone. I got to get in. So he's like, don't worry about it. I'll call the chairlift guys down below. I'll let them know. Go ahead. So I go onto this run that I think is closed. I get on there, and there are no tracks on this run. So, like, no one's been on it, right? And it is kind of sketchy. So I get down to where I think my phone is. I'm looking everywhere for it. Do not find it. Have to now go back to the top and, like, ask Ski Patrol to help me. And I'm thinking, okay, if I can get one of these guys to come down with me, plug my iCloud information into his phone, we can make the little ding sound. Maybe I'll find my phone. To wrap that one up, long story short, we made the ding and I found the phone, which remarkable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out Apple then.
Shout out to this fucking guy from Ski Patrol that came back down with my dumb ass while it's snowing and looked for my phone. And he's pulling all sorts of things out of the ground. He's like, it's not this, but like, there's all sorts of stuff buried in the snow over there. So I thought that was the worst of it, right? I get back to skiing. It's a great day. I get back to my family. I tell them what an awesome day it was skiing out there, and now I'm back with the group. The next day skiing, I separate from the group and I decide to go on this difficult run. Well, at the top of the run, I catch an edge because it's icy, and I immediately slam on my chest. Definitely bruise a couple of ribs, knock the wind out of me. I'm laying on the ground like freaking out. Finally catch my breath, and I can't see where one of my skis popped off. I'm wearing one ski is gone. So I'm yelling to people passing on the chairlift, hey, do you see a ski above me? And this one guy is like very confused by what I'm saying. He's like, no, I haven't seen a ski, man. I'm like, no, not have you seen a ski. Do you see a ski above me? So like I'm talking to like 3 or 4 different chairs until I finally find someone that's like, yes, it's 30 feet above you to the left. So now I have to climb up this run, and I have to decide, do I take the ski with me that I have on, or do I leave that there and come back for it? So I pop that off. I leave that there. I start climbing up the mountain.
like dig it into the snow like a stick?
Yeah, I firmly, not like that, but I firmly like planted it, what I thought was firm enough. Whatever I could do. Mm-hmm. And I started to climb, and because this run was steep, icy, had bumps, it was very hard to get up without sliding down. So I had to like dig the toes of my boots into the run to climb up. It was freaky as fuck. Felt like I was in the movie Cliffhanger. Okay, so I finally get up to this other ski that's like 30 feet up. And now I like hug it like for dear life. And I'm like so happy I have this other ski. But now I have to get back to the ski that I left. So I'm like, okay, I got to slide down to it. So I start to slide down, and now I start to pick up speed, and I'm freaking out. But thank God I like smash down right next to that ski, figure out a way to put it on. And
putting your skis on while you're like on a steep hill is not easy.
With bruised ribs and a hurt back, like it was a whole thing. Yeah. But I made it out, and here we are.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
That's terrible. And you were warned before you left by our partner that we shouted out earlier, Dan, But
yeah.
he said to be careful.
Yeah, he said to be careful.
He said to be very careful and not to hurt yourself.
Thank God I was wearing a helmet.
Would you talk shit about wearing a helmet? And
Okay. Well, I didn't hit my head,
luckily
but
you were wearing it.
I'm trying
You don't know if you hit your head because you were wearing a helmet, Dave.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, here we are, and joining us today is that all of that nonsense aside, right? I'm happy to be back. Thank you for holding it down while I was away. And joining us today,
I'm trying to invite him to speak.
Joining us today, hopefully, any moment, is Nifty Sax.
There he is.
Hey man,
What's
I'm good.
up?
How's it going?
Good. How are you? We are super stoked to have you on, man. I've seen you in so many Twitter spaces with regards to music, and followed your posts and your story, and very excited to have you on the show.
Oh, good to be here. Good to be here.
So let me ask you, is Kenny G like an idol or the bane of your existence?
It's complicated.
It's complicated, right?
Kenny G. Well, Kenny G is a very positive guy. He's a very there's even a documentary. I don't know if he funded the documentary himself, but it's a good documentary. He's very positive, so I have nothing against him. But he did kind of mess up he messed up jazz for other people. When people think of jazz, they think that's what jazz is. The Kenny G kind of sugary.
For me, it wasn't even a jazz thing. It was just, and I'm sure many middle-aged women were into Kenny G at some point or another, but my mom was just so into Kenny G. And so when I think about saxophone, like I immediately think Kenny G. And I'm sure like a lot of people associate saxophone with Kenny G. So I'm sure for, saxophone players, it's like, oh, this motherfucker. But, I understand you can't hate on him if he's a nice guy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the problem. That's it. It's just that when people think of saxophone, they think of that. But otherwise, I mean, I like his stuff. It's good. It serves a purpose. It works great in the elevator and the supermarket. It's great. That's, yeah.
When did you start playing saxophone? Did you start young?
Yeah, I started pretty young. I started when I was 11 years old. Yeah.
Okay, and were you playing in band in school and things like that? I played the clarinet back in the day, but didn't stick with it.
Actually, I played the clarinet too, man.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was terrible.
We're both named Dave. We both played the clarinet, but I was pretty good.
I'm sure.
Well, yeah. I was studying piano before when I was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old, and then there was a saxophone in my house because my dad had the saxophone, so then I tried it and I thought it was really cool, and so I started the Conservatory of Music, which is basically like a music university, because at that time you could enter university even at that age. I don't know, it was a bit complicated to explain, but basically as long as you promised that you were going to finish high school before completing your degree, then you were allowed to enter university as long as you showed aptitude and stuff like that. So yeah, I did that for 9 years.
So you showed musical promise way early on, and that was clear.
Maybe, I guess, yeah. So
well, I mean, did they just allow anyone into the program? Because I would imagine there's an exam. Yeah, I'd imagine to get into a program like that, you have to have, like you were saying, a certain level of music aptitude and show a certain understanding, right?
Yeah, there's an exam, and then they select the people. Like they really do some really weird tests. Like they test your musicality in ways that actually make sense. They ask you to repeat some rhythms, to repeat some notes, maybe sing some notes, and they just kind of have a look, have a feel if you like music, if you have some sort of I don't know. It's hard to say, but yeah, gift or something like that. But it's hard to do those tests, but that's what they do. Yeah.
And where did you grow up? Where was this taking place?
In Italy.
In Italy. Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
And when you say that there was just a saxophone laying around the house because your father played the saxophone, was it a hobby of his, or did he play music professionally in some capacity as well?
I don't know, just a hobby. He used to play clarinet and saxophone when he was younger.
That's nice.
Math teacher.
I feel like, outside maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like outside of the U.S., things like music or playing music are more of a hobby for some people, and not that people don't pursue it professionally, but that like more people have an appreciation for doing things like that in their spare time, and it's nice.
So yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, that's how my parents met. They both were singing in a choir, in a lyric in the opera. So
that's amazing.
They met there, and then they were.
My brother is actually an opera singer.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, opera is super cool. That's how I grew up. I used to go to operas all the time when I was like 4 or 5 or 6. I was also sometimes maybe since I was a little kid, I was on stage when they needed a kid. Sometimes in operas there's like a tiny little part for a kid, so I was doing that. That's cool.
So when did you decide that you were going to pursue music as a career?
Well, I mean, after studying for 9 years, I was like, well, I've done this for so long. I was 19 years old, and I had already finished my university degree at that age. So I thought, okay, this is great. I have a jump start on adult life, so I'm just going to try to do this. And yeah, I did that. So at 19, I went off to Australia and I started my career officially.
Why Australia?
Oh, I don't remember. It was just, I don't know, I probably met someone from Australia and I thought it was cool and warm weather and everything. So I don't know. I have no idea why. It just happened that way. I was there for like a working holiday visa for a year. And then I came back to Europe.
And it says on your site that you're an award-winning saxophonist. Do you want to talk about some of those awards and what those are with reference to?
Oh yeah, it's just it's nothing major. Just I had there was an international songwriting competition in 2014, and some smaller like Italian awards that nobody would know. But it helps to say award winning. So
absolutely,
I say it.
And it's true, man. If they're awards, they're awards, man. We're very happy about the awards that we've recently been winning for some short film stuff, man. Regardless if it's big or small, it's just people recognizing your art, in a professional capacity. So we love that.
Yeah, and speaking of recognition of your art, I would love to hear some of that. So we've got some tunes here that you sent over to us, and I'd love ASAP for you to spin one of those tracks, as we say.
Do you have anything in particular that you'd like us to play from this folder that you sent?
Well, you could play the one. It's actually a single that is coming out March 3rd in Web 2, and that's part of probably a bigger album that I'm doing. It's just saxophone sounds looped to create this harmony, and I'm doing an album like that. And then maybe we can play like a short one from the Spheres, which is the collection of NFTs that I had last year. But yeah, first let's start with the Sublime Saudade.
Okay, sounds great.
All right, here we go. Those are some beautiful tunes, brother. So is that all you harmonizing with yourself?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is just saxophone. That's it.
Right, but are you harmonizing with yourself on that track?
It's just like you playing layers over. Yeah, man. That man,
I just layer each harmony part, and basically I create the chords one note at a time until they become chords. and then I play a little solo on top.
That's awesome. And are you just releasing music digitally, or are you playing live?
Well, I used to play live all the time. That was my business. But when the pandemic came around, that stopped completely. There was 100% of my income gone, and so that's when I started to do NFTs. And actually, this track is right now you can mint for free the cover art, and you just have to pre-save it on Spotify. And then I'm giving away 5 NFTs to 5 collectors. By the way, I just wanted to throw it out there.
That's
And
a cool
the link
mechanic.
is somewhere, I guess. I don't know.
That's a really
somewhere.
cool.
I could pin it up at the top if you want.
Yeah,
please
definitely.
do. Please do. That's a super cool
Yeah, let me see
mechanic,
if I
man.
can find.
So when you were playing these live shows, was that in Italy or in Australia?
Oh no, that was all over Europe. In Australia, I was just mostly just basking, and yeah, I mean, I started to play after a few months. I met some people. I played also in a wind symphony orchestra because I was playing classical at the time. But yeah, then mostly, in Europe. I was living in Berlin for 10 years. I was playing in a lot of jazz clubs and festivals and theaters, or also I did a bunch of like corporate events and stuff like that. I was just playing a bunch because that was my life.
That's amazing, though, to travel and to do what you love and to be in so many different amazing places and to be making a career out of that. That's exciting.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I always felt like I was living the dream. No, yeah. I can't complain for sure.
Definitely living the dream, man. What is your how do you do collaborations? Do people just reach out to you, like DM you, and I want to do a collaboration with you, man? I would be super stoked.
Yeah, well, I did a lot of. I have some on Foundation mostly, with visual artists, which are really really cool. There's some really cool stuff. Sometimes just I get to know someone. Mostly it's just we have a good vibe, and so we decide to do something together. And some of them have been going really well. Like, I don't know, we sold some of those collabs for like 2 ETH or 1 ETH, something like that. Not like insane amounts of money, but it's still pretty nice when you sell
that's
your
excellent.
work.
And what brought you into the Web3 space?
Was it COVID?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just had so much time on my hands, and I was seeing some sales of CryptoPunks. It was like late 2020, early 2021, I guess. And I saw that there was a lot of movement around art, but not enough around music. There was nothing in music. Music NFT was not a thing. When I was making my tweet, hashtag music NFT, there was like nobody tweeting about music NFTs. So I thought, well, let me be the guy that does that, because I have an opportunity to be the first at something, which is crazy. And so I took that and I went full on. Like, I did it every single day.
So did you pair with someone at that point, or did you take that project on by yourself?
Well, the first project, I recorded, crazily enough, I recorded 100 music pieces, which were like kind of avant-garde saxophone improvisations. And then when I had all of this music on my hands, I thought it would be cool to involve visual artists. So then I tried to get 100 visual artists to do 100 cover arts. I didn't get 100, but I got 75. And so then we did
good.
this
75
project together. And
75 is still
Sorry?
75 is still an amazing feat. That's a lot of artists to bring together for this project.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Especially because NFTs were so new. Maybe that's why it was a little bit easier, because it was really not a thing. Like you just I don't know, just to say, hey, I'm doing this crazy thing. You want to participate? And a lot of people were up for it. And some of these artists are not even around anymore in NFTs, because that's how fast the space moves.
Right. Absolutely. Now, you're also a co-founder, we see. So I'm interested to know how you became co-founder and what started Nifty.
Yeah. Well, that was right at the beginning. I thought, not only I want to make music, but this is an insane opportunity to create the next Amazon. That's what I thought, because this is like the new internet. And I thought, okay, there is no music NFT platform. I have to build it. So I got together with a developer, and we started to build this music NFT marketplace. But then there was like a lot of things, like we tried to raise some funds. There was a company that actually wanted to give us $500,000, but then they wanted 80% of the company. And so we said no to that, which is insane. I never thought that I would say no to $500,000. But then we realized that also other music NFT marketplaces were popping up. So we thought that's not what we want to be. So we became more of like a music NFT accelerator, like an agency where we helped other artists to have the same success that I had with the Nifty Sax Spheres, which was a project that sold out pretty fast, and he was one of the first to do some of the things that it did. So we helped some artists generate over 500 ETH now, or 600 ETH or something like that, because we helped them create collections that make sectors. So we did the Moonshot with Violetta Zironi, Letters with Josh Savage, and Raise Us Rocks with Ray Isla, and now the Floor Drops with Fifi Rom. I don't know, that was a very compressed version, but yeah, that's kind of what we do.
So what's the process by which you onboard these people? So do you kind of seek out this talent? Do people reach out to you to be part of this accelerator program?
Yeah, mostly people, at this point, people reach out to us because of the success that we had. So initially it was just like people were reaching out to me because I was doing a daily space where I was helping people for free. Just, I still do it. I still help people for free, but I wanted to have a way to have a more focused way to help someone. So I put it out there. I say, we're looking for our first 3 artists. We're doing this thing where we're helping you to create a project like the Nifty Sax Spheres, which at the time also, like people were reaching out to me because of the success that I had. And so then we did. Then we were really lucky to find Violetta, who's like an incredibly hardworking artist who's been killing it in the space. And she was really good at following our advice. She did everything 10x, everything that we told her. And then through her we found like Josh. And then
I see her in like every music NFT space, Violetta.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
I actually both of these top 2 drops that are on the Nifty Music app, I have seen a lot on my timeline. So well done, because like not
and for those of you that aren't looking at the page like we are, we're talking about Moonshot by Violetta Zironi and Love Letters from Josh Savage on the Nifty homepage.
Which is, man, it's amazing. It's very interesting. So where are you guys at now, like with like funding and like kind of shopping it around? What's the climate like? And are you still kind of going down the path of eventually landing on a marketplace? Because those are thoughts that we've had with Sapo Studios and things that we're working on as well. But there's also places like, Royal.io that have an amazing marketplace that are, I think, still trying to find the way of how this all works in Web3. So kind of where are you guys at with that now?
Well, basically we've been profitable since month 3. And so we don't necessarily need an investment, but we are potentially looking for an investor to scale basically faster, because we are slowly building up our products. Now we also have the Nifty Music Academy where we help onboard people. It's literally like a music NFT course that we take you from not knowing anything about NFTs to having your first drops and making some sales. Then we have the Floor Drops, which is a new model that we offer, kind of a mid-tier for people that already know about NFTs and they want to have a successful drop with generative art and everything. We do everything for you in this case. We do the art generation, the smart contract and everything. And then we have the Pro, Nifty Music Pro, which is like Moonshot and Love Letters and all of those bigger drops. And so, yeah, down the line, if we get an investor, which now we're not necessarily actively seeking, we just kind of wait for people to knock on our door. But yeah, we might be more active soon when we have a bit more time, because now we're so busy building that we literally don't have the time to fundraise. But yeah, down the line, there is also the possibility of having our own marketplace as well, because we definitely are not happy about the secondary options that are available right now with OpenSea and Blur and whatever. It's just not really cool for us. It's not a music NFT focused
Right.
place, but yeah, down the line possibly.
And it says on your site that the co-founder is Robin Spottiswoode. Where did you and Robin meet?
Oh, Robin was the developer that helped me to create the Nifty Sax Spheres contract. So first I was working with another developer friend of mine, which then she moved on. She wanted to do something else. She wasn't really into NFTs. And so then when I met Robin on Spaces, I was looking for someone to do a smart contract for my own drop, which also at the time it was pretty crazy to do a drop on your own smart contract. Now it's normal with the manifold or whatever, but at that time there wasn't anything like that. So when I was going to Spaces saying that I have a collectible music thing with my own contract, everybody was like, "What? Really? What is that?
What is this?
So
what are you talking about?"
I just needed someone. Yeah, exactly. They were saying like, "What the hell is collectible music? How the hell can you collect music?
Right.
I can listen to it. Why would I collect it?" Which was so dumb because I could say the same about art. Like I can see it. Why would I buy it? So, but yeah, that was the sentiment around that time. And so I met Robin on Spaces, and we had a few calls, and we just had a good vibe. And so when my other developer that I was working with decided to not do this stuff anymore, I asked Robin, "Hey, do you want to come in and do this thing, 50-50?" And yeah, I was happy to, because he also wanted to build something in music NFTs. And yeah, that's then we just got going. And
are you still operating out of Europe?
Yeah, we are in Europe, but we didn't actually incorporate yet. So we potentially, if we find an investor, we could also incorporate somewhere else, which we don't know where it's going to be, because for now we are like two freelancers working on this thing.
And well, that's kind of the beauty of it is to be able to live anywhere and do what you love. So that's exciting, that you could land anywhere. With respect to the music NFTs, I know that when we played your last song, there was something that was an NFT that you wanted us to play next. What was that?
Oh yeah, we can play a really short one from the Nifty Sax Spheres. That was the collection that was sold out very fast. It was one of the first, probably the first instrumental music NFT from a musician, like not generative music. So it was with the whole rarity structure, the blind mint, and it was sold out in less than 12 hours. So we can play one called Altair.
Okay.
That's
see it.
Yeah, that's a really short one.
All right,
Cool.
great. This is Altair by Nifty Sax. Check it out. That's gorgeous, man. So soothing and clean.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
It's like kind of just like relieves like stress. I feel like relieves anxiety. It brings like a sense of calm. It really does.
Everything just melts away.
It really does bring a sense of calm. Man,
thank you so
I
much.
really love it. I love it.
So when people purchased those, was that for the purpose of recreating, using that in other music as a stem, essentially?
My music always comes with black stems and wet stems. So this is what you're hearing. This is just saxophone with my own custom reverb that I've created to create this. Like, it almost sounds. A lot of people think it's a synth, but it's not. So every single note there is created by the saxophone, and it's a very particular way of playing because every note stays there for at least 60 seconds. So every note that I play has to make sense with the notes that I played 60 seconds ago. So it's all just saxophone, and I provide this also, to the people that buy it if they want it.
And do you keep track of where those go in terms of, what they turn into when other people start using them in their own creations? Have you heard the final products of those?
Yeah, I've seen a few. Some people have put those for sale on, I don't know, Known Origin and other platforms like that especially visual artists.
So do you see a profit if they sell using your stem? Is your smart contract connected to that in any way?
No, that's not possible because they could literally just rip it from. I mean, anybody could take it from the internet and use it. But no, I just I like to provide it for my holders. If they want it, they can just ask. The Nifty Sax Genesis, which is the first collection that I had, actually came with unlockable content on OpenSea. This one doesn't, so usually people ask me if they want to use it, and I just send it to them. But yeah, that's mostly. I don't think people mostly buy it for that. They just buy it for the collectability because it was one of the first to do some things, and just to support my endeavors.
Sure. But I'd imagine sometimes it's really nice to hear people collaborate with your stuff, and it's really exciting. But then there are also times where it's like, do you ever regret allowing just anyone to play with your track and you listen to the final product and you're
crap,
like, wow,
that was terrible.
Is just absolute trash.
That was crap.
No, I don't think it happened yet. So let's see. Hopefully,
give me a stem, man. You'll fucking hate it.
Great promotion for yourself over there.
I'm just kidding.
I think it's important to probably what I would usually when people ask me, I just ask them to send me the final product. If I don't like it, I just say just don't tag me, and if I like it, I say, well, please do tag me because I want I want this to be promotional for me.
Right, and if not, don't put my name anywhere on this.
Yeah, it's that simple as that.
So, do you plan to play live in the future, or do you think now that the pandemic has taken you off the live track, you're going to lean into just digital and growing out the Nifty name and kind of move away from live performance?
Oh, there's no way I will stop playing live. I love playing live. I performed of course now mostly at NFT events, like last year at NFT NYC and NFT London and a bunch of other events around.
What about NFT LA?
So
man?
That's like
you should come this year.
I'm not going to be in NFT LA. I'm a little bit stuck in Italy now for a little while until my fiance gets her visa because she's from the UK. And so we can't really travel right now until we sort those things out.
Makes sense.
Okay. But yeah, no, there is.
But yeah, I do love playing live for sure. I love performing the Nifty Sax Spheres, and then I also have an album coming out possibly this year with songs because I also play the piano and sing. So yeah, I do love that. I hope I will never stop because that's the thing that brings me the most joy. I really want to continue doing that.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like being able to make, a living off of your passion and doing what you love, and to be able to do that live is just another experience entirely. Feeding off the energy of the crowd, and it's just it's a whole nother level of experience. Absolutely. Yeah,
I can't replicate that with anything else that I've ever tried. And also for the people that listen to my music, like there's no way that they can get the same experience from the the album on the computer as when they are live. Like I can see the difference also in the reactions and everything. It's just a completely different vibe. I do believe that there's some sort of magic in live music where you create this
100%.
this sort of metaphysical connection with the audience, which is really, really beautiful, and it really feeds my soul.
Yeah, absolutely. So to that end, do you find that sometimes you want to put less effects and less extra things on your tracks, because you talk about reverb and special sounds that you've made, but there is a live, authentic aspect that you do want to come through the track sometimes, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is all live. I mean, the Nifty Sax Spheres, first of all, it's just one take, and when I perform live, I use this. I bring this effect with me, and so I kind of play with the reverb, and I use it as an instrument, as part of. It's like a dialogue with myself. That's why it's important to me to bring it. It's really part of the band.
That's awesome. I do want to hear one or two more of your tracks. So is there something in particular you'd like us to play next from the package?
Well, I guess to go a bit in a different direction, there's also one that I did with Fifi, which is just saxophone and just vocals. And that one is called Crown, I think. It's from our Harmony collection.
Yep, I see it. Nifty Sax and Fifi wrong.
All right, let's check out Crown. Wow. That's another gorgeous track. Let me ask you, have you ever heard of Imogen Heap? Are you familiar with Imogen Heap music?
I know the name, but I'm not super familiar.
So Imogen Heap, as far as I know, it's just one woman, but there's something that is kind of very reminiscent of her stuff for me in what I just heard, because what she does is she kind of melds her harmonies to what she's playing on the keyboard, and it's this synth harmony that she's doing with her voice and the instrument. And it's like this melding of musical minds between, instrument and human, and it's gorgeous, and it just what I just heard was very reminiscent of that for me. So definitely cool stuff.
Oh yeah, I will check it out for sure. Yeah, I know the name. I know for sure. I must have heard something.
I will check out
more.
Check out the song "Hide and Seek" by Imogen Heap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hide and Seek.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song.
Man, that was gorgeous. What I just heard, I had to close my eyes and just appreciate the various layers that were happening in that music, because, man, again, it's there's a calm to what you guys are creating. So
well,
I think
and what's cool about
there's a whole
thank you.
There's a whole movement here that needs to happen with like mental health awareness, man.
Well, what's cool about it also, in my opinion,
Yourself
is that
like someone you love.
I feel like the music paints an image in your head, right? And I could totally see it as facilitating another piece of visual art. And where my mind went was like almost something like very Avatar like, where you're like on this other planet, like going through like these gorgeous like rainforest type deal. And I'm sure, everyone imagines something different when, because music speaks to you in your own personal way.
Absolutely. But in my thing, it's like the calmness is like what I think. And there's an app called Calm, and there's a thing like with mental health awareness that's happening now. And I think that with what they're creating, it just, if you're listening to their music, like you have to slow down and you just have to like take a minute and you like start to maybe breathe a little more. And, I love what you guys are creating.
Well, this is definitely, I'm glad that you sense that, but that's definitely one of the intents in my music, like with the Nifty Sax Spheres, with harmony. It's really meant to chill you out, like to put it plain and simple. Like it's really meant as a healing kind of music, because when I record it, first of all, I really want to heal myself. So hopefully it does the same for the people who listen to it. That's very important to me. When I recorded these pieces, it was very healing for me. It was a very important time in my life. And so yeah, I'm glad if it does come through.
And honestly, man, I was gonna touch on that. I was gonna say, like if I'm feeling that, like how must you have felt when you were creating it? Which you must have felt pretty relaxed, pretty chilled out. Like what do you do before a session like that? Especially with COVID and all the things that have happened, like just in the world right now, it's such a stressful time, and I feel like sometimes to create your art during this time, like there's barriers, at least for me, in dealing with some of these things. Like how did you achieve that sense of calmness during this time?
That's a good question. Well, first of all, I every time before recording harmony in particular, I was doing a whole meditation session, but I was also getting high as a kite, smoking a bunch of weed until I would not control myself anymore. Because the thing is that I've studied a lot of music, so I have a very academic background. So sometimes I think too much,
right.
But I do have a lot of pathways in my brain that work automatically. So I have to sometimes, just to unlock those, I have to really get completely blasted, and then I just play, and then I listen to it when I'm sober. And I was like, oh, this is really good. I would never be able to do this.
Right.
So
you're like, how did I do that?
So yeah, that's a lot of the process.
And you're lucky because, a lot of shows make fun of this. There's a great clip on Family Guy where they make fun of this. But there are some people that take a ton of drugs and they think that they're making gorgeous music or gorgeous art. And then afterwards, when they sober up, they're like, what the fuck is that?
But yours is actually really good.
For me, it's mostly the opposite. I actually, when I listen, when I'm high and I listen to something that I recorded sober, I feel like, this is not right. There's something that's not right. when I record it and I'm really high, and then I sober up and I'm like, oh, that's it. That's what I was looking for.
So to that end, traveling all over Europe, where I feel like the laws against drugs and even weed are a lot harsher. Is it hard to get access to that in all of these different places?
Well, not really. I mean, I was living in Berlin, where weed is not legal, but it's tolerated. And then here in Italy, I just grow it myself. I live in the countryside and have like really huge plants. So here you can have plants for personal use in Italy. So that's really awesome.
Are you a good grower?
And you can have like 3 or 4 plants.
Are you a good grower?
Oh yeah, man. That's one of my passions. That's one of my hobbies. I love it. I take so much care of my plants. I love it. It's medicine.
I'm so glad you said you're allowed to have like your personal plants, because after you were talking about that you're growing in the countryside, I just imagined like, not that our show is huge or anything yet, but like, we're live over here. You're talking about growing weed in Italy, and then there's just like helicopters coming over your place any minute.
Elon Musk is just flying over right now. But yeah, man, do you play saxophone to your plants?
Actually, I've never done that. That's a good idea. I should do that.
You
I mean,
should.
if I have small plants here in my studios, like some autoflower stuff, then I might,
Yeah.
they might hear some saxophone because they record here. But the ones outside, I never thought of it.
Well, man, I'm not going to lie. I want to come visit you in Italy in the countryside and play music with you and smoke some of your weed and get high with you, man.
Wow.
I'm just inviting myself
has
over, man.
Invited himself across the world into your living room. I hope you're prepared. Talking about mental
Yeah, man,
health
let's go.
awareness. That's kind of crazy, man. Just kidding.
A little mental, yeah, it's okay. I'm working on it.
Oh man. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Nifty. Really cool stuff. Really love what you're building. And the soothing tunes that you're outputting.
Beautiful music, man. And is there a place you can let people know where to buy your NFTs? Other than what you post? Did you only post one or pin one at the top? Where did it go?
Well, that one is free, and actually you can also win another NFT by collecting that for free. So my NFTs are kind of everywhere. So the best place is just niftysax.com. That's where I link all of my collections. So if you want, for example, Nifty Sax Spheres, you can also look that up on OpenSea. Now, I think the cheapest one it's 0.05, which is quite affordable. It's a very small collection. It's only 385 items. So that's, yeah. So, and then, soon we're releasing Floor Drops, which is the next iteration of the Nifty Music model, and we're dropping with Fifi Ron. And so for that one, I guess I will pin the latest tweet to the top where I don't know, I guess this is the space where we're gonna mint, which is also our engagement party. And Fifi and I met in Spaces like a year ago, and now we're getting married, which is pretty crazy.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
A Web3 wedding.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So Fifi is the same person that was singing on that track that I
Yep.
said sounded like Emotion Heap.
Yes.
Yeah, Fifi's got a gorgeous voice.
Yeah, her voice.
Yeah.
Her voice is beautiful. And yeah, we'd love to have
No,
her on
yeah.
the show at some point as well, man. We were DMing a little bit prior to the show, so we would definitely love to have her on for a Saturday session. And if you guys would ever be down
Yeah.
to do like another show where we do like a live collaboration, we could kind of send stems back and forth. I don't know if you're interested in being a part of that down the line, where we could send you a loop. You kind of record some stems over at your house. We kind of loop them in here live on the show, mix them in. If
Yeah, man, send me over some stuff. Let's do it. I hope I can find the time, but because
we
next
hope
week
so,
we
too.
have the drop. We're a little bit busy, but yeah, I can record something for sure.
Awesome.
yeah, we'd love that, man.
Cool. Well, doing a lot of exciting stuff. Definitely pin that tweet to the top where people can kind of gain access to more of your stuff. And we're going to hop into a little jam session of our own right here. Before we do, I think there's probably at least one more track you can find in the PR folder, right, that you can play out of Nifty's for us. I don't know.
I was thinking the same thing, Mr. Dave Length.
Very
Give
nice.
us a little second to drink
Yeah,
some coffee,
to
make some
reset.
fresh coffee here. Shout out Frogland for the coffee.
Yep. Speaking of resetting, let me go ahead and reset the room, and that'll be kind of our way of capping off this section. We are Sapo Studios. Our goal is to bring the majority of profits and ownership rights back into the hands of musicians. We operate under the umbrella of the Notorious Frog NFT project, aka Frogland. Do your own research, but get involved. We have plans to unveil a marketplace where you can buy and sell stems and do a whole lot more, and a whole lot more is what I'm saying. I'm not going to say anything further than that.
Mr. Bingus. I'm super
excited.
You just let me know when I'm allowed to talk about it. And I'm going to start talking. I'm going to go to the top of the mountains out here in California and start screaming.
Shut your frogging mouth over there, all right? But a lot of exciting things taking place. I know you're excited. I'm
very
excited too.
I stay up at night thinking about it.
I know. You stay up at night thinking about a lot of things.
I do.
But
I do.
until then, right? We're chatting it up with artists about music, life, and NFTs every Saturday at 12 Pacific Standard Time here on Twitter. Today we have mouthing all the words I'm saying. You're a psychopath. Today we had Nifty Sax in the studio. Really a pleasure speaking with you, Nifty. A lot of cool stuff. about what you're building and some beautiful tunes that you're making. So thank you for taking the time to be with us today. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, sorry I got rugged there for a moment, but yeah, I'm back.
We're glad you're back, man. Really, our pleasure to have you here in my kitchen for Sapo Saturdays, man. I know we talked about it a couple times, and glad it finally happened. Really love your story and love your music, man.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it was a pleasure. You guys are awesome. This is really cool.
Thank you very much. ASAP, why don't you go ahead and play one more of Nifty's tracks as we have a request here.
Yeah, if anyone has questions, let's see. We got Don
Love.
Let's
All right,
see.
let's bring Don Love up. Don Love is a fellow frog holder in the Frogland community. What's going on, Don Love?
Yo, I just had a question on the Altair track. Is that a call out to the early personal computer called the Altair at all? And then I also sent across just another message. So Imogen Heap, actually, I don't know if it's true, but in 2021 in Clubhouse, when NFTs were blowing up, she was saying that actually she'd released what might have been the first NFT, probably the first music NFT if it happened, on Ethereum, like one of her tracks, I think Tiny Human or something, back in 2015, before CryptoPunks, before like the ERC 721 and 1155 standards or anything like that.
Wow, so she was the first to the space.
Yeah. So that comparison that you make was really, serendipitous. And well, I don't know what the word is here. But,
yeah, no, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us, because that's really interesting.
But they weren't able to find the contract to prove it.
What? I thought that was the whole point of the blockchain, is that everything
where are the contracts?
What do you
Aren't
mean
they on the
can't
blockchain?
find
Aren't they burned in?
Man, like the tooling was really bad back then. It had been years, so I assume just like nobody kept track of where they put this thing, etc.
No.
So yeah, she was like, telling people that back in Clubhouse, and it's like, hey, I made the first NFT, but I can't prove it, and I'm saying it now when NFTs are blowing up.
There has got to be some sort of like hacker dude out there that can figure out a way to revive that off the dead surfaces of the blockchain.
maybe, but I thought I had to share that with Imogen coming up.
Yeah, I think we may have Nifty back.
I think
Nifty,
so too.
Are you able to come through there?
Yeah, sorry, I don't know. I got rugged again. I had to close Twitter, the whole thing. So I didn't hear. I don't know if Don Love, you had a question or something. I couldn't hear anything until like 3 seconds ago.
Yeah. So the question was just about that track Altair, whether it was a call out at all to the Altair early personal computer, like back in the 80s, like one of those first ones that like inspired so many people like Bill Gates and like what's his
Steve
name?
Jobs.
Steve Jobs. Yeah. I was searching for the name, and the thing that came to mind was Tim Apple.
That's a great question. Altair actually is the name of a star, and all of the Nifty Sax spheres are names of stars. So that's what I was thinking. Like the 55 brightest stars in our universe, and those are the titles of all of the Nifty Sax spheres. So no, I was not referencing the Altair computer, but that's a great question.
I don't know if this actually works this way. If it does, it would be absolutely epic. But do the tracks that make up constellations then work together over each other in some way?
That would be really cool. I have not tried to put them together like that, but
he's like,
I will try.
Shit, man! You just made my work so much harder. Just made more work for myself now.
Just something to think about.
That would be super super cool, actually.
Yeah, no, but it is cool already that all of them are names of different stars. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, if anyone else has any questions,
it's a great idea.
Don Love, thank you very much for coming up and speaking, sharing that information with us about Imogen Heap. Nifty, since you got rugged, I don't know if you heard, but Don was saying that Imogen actually may have been the first one to mint music on the blockchain, and she just can't prove it apparently because the contract has disappeared into thin air.
Because of the shit coding back then, apparently, or the smart contracting back then.
Yeah. Wild.
The shit devs back then, man.
Can the devs do something? All right. So let's go ahead and if there's anyone else that wants to hop up, please feel free. Otherwise, we are going to play one more of Nifty's tracks to kind of close off this section, and we're going to move into a jam.
Where Bingus is going to be back in the studio with Mr. ASAP Froggy over here.
Yeah, make sure we don't go for 6 hours,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Someone's got to cap those sessions.
Yeah, let's see if you learned how to communicate since the last time. I was watching back on
sounds
some
like
of
I'm
those
in
episodes.
trouble
Yeah,
already.
you are. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you for reminding me. Speaking of past episodes, very excited to share with anyone that doesn't know that we are right now up on Apple Podcast. We will soon be up on Google Podcast and Spotify as well.
We're very happy about this.
But
Very
yeah,
stoked
very
about it.
excited. Thank you so much to Frogland for making all of that happen.
Shout out to Lolly.
To Lolly
She's been
Hops,
killing
who
it. Just been working
works nonstop,
working with us. Literally, we're coming up
around the clock.
Yeah, we actually have passed a year. Or I think.
Yeah, I was trying not to call it out because we didn't do any sort of
we didn't do
celebration.
any sort of celebration thing.
So
But
much
Lolly
going
has been
on.
working with us for the past year, and she's been really killing it for Sapo Studios and really helped facilitating a lot of these ideas, which. One, I'm very excited to talk about.
Easy
Mr.
does it
Bingus.
there, man.
I'm really excited to talk
I'm
about
gonna duct
it.
tape your mouth shut. All right, but in the meantime, why don't you occupy your fingers there and go ahead and pull up the Apple Podcast and pin that somewhere. Pin that all over the place. And
You think I know how to do that?
I don't know, man. Figure it out. All right. I definitely.
You want me to play a song over here? You want me to click this thing over there? You want me to do this
play
thing
a
over
song,
there?
pin this,
open the
do that.
I'm running 2 computers. I'm running the switcher. I'm running the microphones. You're just sitting over there, again, twiddling the pen and really not writing a lot of stuff down. Like Mr. Red Buttons called you out.
I wrote a couple things down. You watch your mouth.
Red Buttons called you out.
Right,
on a previous show that you had the pen. You didn't write shit down. Let's see. Show us the notepad. Let's see it. Let's see the notepad. What'd you write?
I had some. I don't want to reveal all my secrets, but
Right.
I'll just do a flash.
Give us a little bit of the sauce. No, that was pre-show. That was pre-show.
There was some. It was mixed.
During the show, you turned the page. Yeah, go back. Now show us what you. Come on.
Don't worry about it.
Come on.
No one can see any
Come
of
on.
this right now. Anyway,
There's a camera. Show the camera.
the
No, bullshit.
Okay.
Go to the right
Anyway.
fucking page, man.
All right. Anyway, we're gonna move on here.
It's blank.
Why don't you go ahead and play and pin and do all of that so we can move over into this jam session.
I'm going to play another one from Spheres
You can stop jamming me up
Centauri.
because you're jamming my day up over here. I don't know
like
what
I
I
said
did
it
to
wrong.
you, but I'm very attacked.
You left me for 2 weeks, man.
Tweet now pinned to the top where you can find the Apple Podcast link for our previous episodes. They're not all up, but we've got 26 episodes up right now, so a lot of listening time. Go back and have some fun with those. We've had a lot of great guests. This Nifty episode will be up there in the coming weeks as we get caught up with our day-to-day, and eventually you'll be getting the episodes right away uploaded to the podcast, right, ASAP? It'll happen. It's going to happen at some point. We're going to get all caught up.
We are not far away.
We're not far away.
We're not far away.
So, definitely go back and listen to some of those episodes. Really proud of the body of work we've created thus far, and excited to keep going.
You know what else I'm proud about is what we've been working on with Lava.
Oh, right. You know, I really am going to tape your fucking mouth shut. Jeez, man, this guy cannot wait to say something. No, but definitely go ahead and listen. And what's really cool about all those also is that we've recorded all of these episodes into a separate device. So the quality of sound that you're going to be getting from listening to those episodes back is going to be a lot different than the experience on Twitter. It's going to be a lot more like a real radio show. And all those tracks we play from our artists, you're going to get the full effect of what those tracks sound like, and all the glorious undertones that are present in those tracks that you don't get from Twitter, because Elon just doesn't care about us like that. So go check those out. Tweet pinned to the top. And we'll be jamming shortly. Thanks for staying with us on this rainy Saturday.
just added those 4 guitar chords in the key of B major. And now we're going to add another track for Mr. Bingus here. Software instrument. What sound do you want, man?
What am I looking for? It's not regular piano and it's not an organ, but something that where like those higher keys have that like caramel sound to them. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Am I speaking any sort of language that you're picking up, or is it all alien?
I think so. So we want some sort of keys.
Yeah, it's like not a xylophone, and it's not an organ.
Start pushing some buttons.
It's definitely not that.
If you see that that arrow on the top left, right there. You see it to the left. Okay. Do you see the arrows? The arrow pads. Yep. So click down. Now push the buttons again. Now push down. There you go. Now you can just kind of click through, find the sound you like. Oops. Hold on 1 second. Okay, go for it. Okay, go for it.
So am I, man.
Go for it. They're the right notes. Huh? You like this sound? I liked when you were just doing it was like you were in the pocket like 20 seconds ago, 10 seconds ago. Yeah, and just playing it like very delicately. Yeah. You like these little bells? Needs to be airy. Keep playing it. learning the scale there, Dave? Finding out where all the right notes fit in there, man?
You know what, wise ass? There are some notes that I'm hitting that aren't on your precious little scale, so...
Yeah, but again, it's a place to... Those are all in the scale, dude.
No, they're fucking not. Look at the fucking... Alright, whatever.
That's exactly what you just did. And all of these black notes...
Not all of them.
All of the black notes, because these are the same as this. So they are on the precious little scale there, Dave. Trust me.
Hey, fuck off.
You should lay down those chords that you were playing. I think like the All right, record it. Ready? Don't hold it, just like at the end, and then just like wait till the next round. I mean, it's like I have to push it at the exact right time, though, for it to be on time. You know what I mean? Like push play. No. Like when I put it in the like to preview them before I buy them.
It's 2 o'clock.
I have to be like 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now it sounds more correct. That's actually kind of cool. Interesting. So you see how this says G sharp minor, but it's actually in the key of B major. That's what I'm saying. Like some of the things that, which like G sharp here is a related chord, so it makes sense. Mr. Bingus playing the guitar over here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful Twitter went ahead and rugged us again. So we're going to go ahead and cap that off right there. Thank you for being with us on this beautiful, rainy, cold Saturday. Scratch Track Saturdays. We'll be back next Saturday. And hopefully, we'll see you there. Ribbit, y'all. ASAP Froggy and Bingus Frog out. Peace.